Commissioner Lindley, we good? All right. Ms. Smith, please call the first item.
Old business 1 is the consideration of the ALJ's proposal for decision and proposed order on remand concerning the application by the Port of Corpus Christi Authority of Nueces County for TPDES permit number WQ 000-525-3000 to discharge treated effluent from a proposed marine desalinization plant. There will be no oral argument today, but the commission may ask questions.
So, colleagues, we heard the arguments at the last agenda, and let me just open it up for your thoughts. Commissioner Lindley?
I don't have a whole lot to say. What I would say is, you know, what we're here to talk about is the PFD that the ALJ sent us, right? And we've said this a number of times, so I would just repeat it, that the ALJs are our fact finders. And there was an extensive amount of evidence for this PFD, and I commend them and everyone that participated in the very long hearing. I think it was 15 days worth of testimony. That's significant. And, you know, what I would say is that when this went to SOA a second time, I guess would be the way to characterize it, everybody came back with more evidence, right? The protestants, the executive director, the applicant. And we know the ALJs were willing to deny the permit, but after hearing more evidence, they were willing to issue the permit, and the evidence gave them the certainty to issue that permit. And I didn't see anything in the record that would, I think, make it appropriate to overturn the PFD. And so I'm supportive of issuing the permit and adopting the proposal for decision from the ALJs. That's all.
Thank you. Commissioner Janeka?
I appreciate that context, Commissioner Lilly. I think I'm in agreement across the board. I see it the same way. I'll only add that I appreciate the additional time we've had to review this item and the additional the presentation, the arguments that were put before us. I think it let me go back and very specifically look at where the record did include any mentions of communications from EPA. I think that some of the discussion there is outside of our window of decision on this item, on this order before us. And so I feel that it's appropriate to move forward with the proposal for decision and the proposed order from the administrative law judge.
Thank you, Commissioner. The two of you captured my idea, so I'm on board and am ready for a motion.
I have one, and I will say there are a few revisions I'm going to read out, and I guess if you have any questions, just let me know, but hopefully I can get through this. I would move that we adopt the administrative law judge's proposed order with the following modifications, which were recommended by the administrative law judges in their August 2nd, 2022 reply to exceptions. 1, all references to the draft permit number in the ALJ's proposed order should be corrected to WQ 000-5253-000. 2, that we revise finding of fact number 95 as follows. Quote, under the worst case conditions modeled by the executive director, the proposed discharge will result in salinity levels at the zone of initial dilution, or the ZID, as high as 44.68 ppt, end quote. This change is made to correct an error in the This change is made to correct an error in interpreting the executive director's modeling results found in Exhibit King/Stevens-21R. Thirdly, that we revise finding of fact number 114 as follows. Quote, the proposed discharge will be located at least 60 feet below the water surface, so humans will not be directly exposed to the discharge, end quote. This change corrects a typographical error. The location of the diffuser is specified as more than 60 feet below the surface of the water as reflected in Exhibit APP-LT-16-R. Fourth, that we add finding of fact number 122A, quote, to address the mixing limits for percentages of effluent at the boundaries of all 3 mixing zones, the following requirements should be added to the revised draft permit. The permittee shall maintain the diffuser at outfall 001 to achieve maximum effluent percentages at the edge of each regulatory mixing zone. The ZID, 14.6%, chronic aquatic mixing zone, 8.9%, human health mixing zone, 5.4%, end quote. This finding of fact is added to specify in revised draft permit the mixing limits for percentages of a fluid at the boundaries of all 3 mixing zones as identified in the executive director's statement of basis. I move that we adopt the executive director's response to comments to the extent that it is consistent with the commission's order, and that we issue the draft revised permit as modified by the commission's order.
Second
Can-
motion.
Can I ask for a clarification?
Yes.
For the second item for revision, you stated under the worst-case conditions modeled by the executive director, the proposed discharge will result in salinity levels at the ZID as high as 44.68. Did you mean the
The
ZID
ZID boundary. Yes,
Okay.
I did meet ZID boundary in that revision of finding of fact number 95.
Okay, so we'll consider that a friendly amendment. Commissioner Janeka,
Second the
we have
motion
a
is
second.
modified.
The motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Ms. Smith, when you're ready, please call the next item.